I'm okay.
You're
Nice and
very,
warm.
very summery.
I'm
can I
very
just
laid
say.
back, and
Okay.
I'm having a great day.
Mark has a nice, just plain white T-shirt on. He's got his red shorts on and a pair of, just a pair of, sort of beach shoes there.
Rather ripped beach shoes, actually,
yeah.
but they'll do. I like them. They're my favourites.
Very good. Well, it's lovely to see you here. A lot of talk about what else might happen in this area. A lot of talk about potential planning permission for another supermarket, maybe.
Yes.
How much residents are aware of that?
I would say to you a lot of residents are very, very aware of what's going on, particularly as a certain company, beginning with A, has written to us all, giving us this lovely opportunity to give our opinion. And I would say to you, a lot of people would welcome some competition to a certain other store that's beginning with T in this site, because they want to see that. There's also some concerns over traffic issues, because, as I'm sure you've learnt or perhaps gained already, there's a lot of people feel that this is a lovely estate, but one that's very difficult to gain entry to and exit from at certain times. So another store would maybe cause problems there.
Mark in Coventry.
Afternoon, Mark.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. May I pose this question? And in posing it, I'm not trying to be controversial, but what would you guys like to see, particularly John? What would you like this country to do to encourage young people from particularly poorer backgrounds to perhaps engage in playing tennis? Because perhaps some would see tennis as a middle-class game.
You're absolutely right.
Upper middle class.
Mark, it's making the game accessible is so important to really develop the game and produce more players in the future. And when you go to 8, 9 and 10-year-olds, you think about schools. I think tennis in schools is difficult. It's an individual sport. It does take up quite a lot of space. So therefore your club structure and parks making the game available is so important. So, the LTA, who have the profits of Wimbledon to invest, they really need to make sure that in every area, irrespective of whether you live in Cornwall or Hull, that there are facilities near where you live.
By chance, as you were talking earlier, when you'd got the guest from the Secular Society on, I was just having to be reading the Bible, which I do. I like reading the Bible. I find comfort in some of the words that are written, and I find there is general guidance in the Bible that can apply to our lives. And just a simple word of scripture. I'll just read half a sentence. And now this word to all of you: you should be like one big happy family, full of sympathy towards each other, loving one another with tender hearts and humble minds. And then it says, don't repay evil for evil. It's just a simple few words.
What about, and I asked Terry this a little bit earlier when we were talking to the National Secular Society, what about the fact that criticism is levelled at religion all the time, that it's part cause or cause of all wars in history?
Don't forget what I've just read. Don't repay evil for evil. You can strike back or you can choose not to.